Hello there, folks. Hey, this is Joe Wazoo here. Hey, today we're going to talk about using a OpenVPN connection to connect to a FlexEdge product that has a SIM card on a private network. So in this example, my customer has a SIM card from a company called solvenetworks.com, and this SIM card is on their private APN network, and we're going to use OpenVPN to connect to their network, and then that allows us to connect to the FlexEdge product out in the field. So a couple things on this application. In Crimson, over on the left, device configuration, and in device configuration down here on modem 1, a couple things I'll point out to you. I got it set up as a standard interface. Since this is on a private network, you see normally when you do this team, the trust status comes up to untrusted, but because this is on the private APN, I'm going to make this a trusted network here. And you see this comes up and says, hey, this should only be used on private APN, which in this case it is. So that's good there. And then there's nothing on the features tab I'm doing. On the SIM tab, I only have one SIM card. So you put in the APN that they give you, which is this here, solvene.bzw, whatever. And you'll get a different APN if you do this with AT&T, Verizon, or something else. If they have the same capability, you'll get a different APN. But this is the information I got from Solve. So those are the only things I've done here in this application to do that. I've got set up a display page here. You can see I've got a widget here. This is a really cool widget because it gives all the settings for the SIM cards, for the cell modem subs. So under device tags, there's a bunch here. But I have here, call this person back. I have a folder with a bunch of stuff, tags, so you can use that. Anyway, if you want this database, send me a note and I'll share with you this widget. But let me go ahead and save this. I'm going to download this first locally. So if I go here, go ahead and hit the find button, you can see that I'm locally connected to that unit there. So I click OK. Let me go ahead and download this to the unit. There it is. Okay. So now that I've downloaded to it, I should be able to go ahead and open up a web server here, and I can put in the local IP address, remote view, and you can see here that I'm connected. I got some stuff here, which is awesome. Everything's up and running, so that looks good. Okay, yep, that's that. I'm using that. That looks good. Now, let me go back here, and I'm going to click on the system here. Let me look at something. I don't think this... Oh, well, here, if you look here, it gives me the static IP address of the SIM card, and I'm also using the function getNetIP right here. Let me go back to Crimson. I need to show you that real quick here. This guy right here, well, you might wonder, where's getNetIP? If you go to the lower right-hand corner, click System, expand the functions tree, expand the network tree. This function here, getNetIP, all I did was drag that on the page. And then once I dragged it on the page, if you double click on it, I set up the index to be number 3. That'll be the index of the cell modem select. Index 0, 1, and 2 are for the built-in Ethernet ports. 0, 1 are the same. Anyway, that's that particular thing. So if I go back here, I can see it's got this number. Now, you might think, well, wait a minute. What is this IP address? Well, could I possibly pull that up? So if I put 10.225.57, if you look, it doesn't load here. Or if I go over to, whoops, I didn't want to do that. Right there. What did I do here? Hold on. Yeah, back to here. Okay. In this case, let me pull up the DOS window here. So here's the DOS window. IP config. I want you to notice something. You can see here that my local IP address on my wired connection is this number right here. I'll go all the way to the top so you can see everything. Okay, nothing, blah, 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 blah. If I slide down, here's the IP address of my wireless here at my office, but that's all it's connected. Okay, so if I try to ping that 10.225.57.1, you can see I don't get anything there. Yep, that's correct. So what I got to do here is I need to fire up the OpenVPN connection so that I can connect to their network, which will give me access to the FlexEdge. You might wonder, what do you mean by OpenVPN? Well, if you Google OpenVPN download, You can download their software, and that's what I'm going to use to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and fire up the OpenVPN. Here's the OpenVPN connection. The first time you do this, you'll hit the plus sign, and you're going to import the VPN profile that Solve Network will give you. You're going to take that profile and import that into this software. So I've already done that, so I'm going to go ahead and connect here. Now you need a password for this. So in that case, I'm going to go get the password for this. And that password we found in that other file that Solve Network sent you. So once I go ahead and click open here, or connect, now I'm connected to the Solve Network's private network, which is connected to the SIM card in the FlexEdge. So this essentially puts me on their network. Now, if I go back to the DOS prompt here, let me go ahead and not ping, I'm going to do IP config. I want you to notice something. If I slide away the top, look, now I have this odd address here. This is on the OpenVPN network, or the Solve networks actually. And then I still have my other two connections. So if I try to ping now, let's see if I can ping here. Oops, there it is. So you can see I can ping it. Yeah, you might have to, let me look at something real quick here. The ping part, I just want to double check. Over here under untrusted traffic, ping is disabled here because it's untrusted. However, because I made this guy trusted, that allows me to ping it. So that's why that works. Okay, great. Now if I go back to here, and this time go over to this tab, hit the enter button. Yeah, go ahead and hit that. Refresh. Now look, I can get access to the unit. I go remote view. I'm online just with the same. If I go to system here, let me go into system and go advanced, proceed. So you got to put in admin is this, and then the password. Remember, the password is always on the side of the unit. So I always recommend people take a picture of the label inside the DA70 or on the outside of the DA50. The password's sitting right there. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that password. By the way, that password is not the one for this. That's just a picture of one I'm using. So anyway, let me go ahead and look here. So now I'm in the system side, and I can see there also is that same IP address I was getting via the GetNet IP. So that works pretty good. Now let me go one step further. What if I wanted to extract this program from that unit? Now that I'm connected, my OpenVPN connection's on, I'm connected to that unit. So if I wanted to extract that database that's in there, let me show you something. I'll go File, New, say no, okay, and I'll just pick something, whatever, doesn't matter. There we go. Okay, all I'm going to do here is go to the link pull down, go down to options. I'm going to put in that static IP address. I'm not going to use this. This is my local network. Matter of fact, I'll turn off my local network. Let me put in here 10.225.57.1. Oops, that's not 57. 57.1 right there. Enter. Okay. Now I'm going to go link extract. Boom. It's extracting that. And I'm going to go ahead and save it right here. DA70 underscore extracted underscore today's date is 2409 16, I think. Yeah. Okay. Boom. And I'll say, go ahead and say yes. And you want to download? Yep. I'll say yes. Oh, you know what? All right. Okay. So anyway, let me go make a change. Let me go over here. Let's say I move this guy just a little bit like that. Just make something different. Link options. So it went back to this address. That's I should have said no to that thing earlier, but I'll put in 10.225.57.1. Enter. So I moved this from what I extracted. I moved it just a little bit down to here. So if I hit the Shazam button, look, I just pushed that over the VPN network. I'm not connected to it over locally. I'm connected over their system. Matter of fact, to prove that, if I go back to my DOS window, type IP config, notice here's that setting for the OpenVPN. My wired connection is turned off. I disconnected it. So you don't see any local connection. This is my Wi-Fi at the office, so that's a whole different story. But and if I wanted to ping it, Oops. I can still ping it. Yep. And to prove I'm turned off on the other one, if I try to ping 192.168.222.222, enter, you can see it doesn't work because I'm not connected. Anyway, so that's pretty cool. So if I want to make any changes to it, the key to this, the important thing, is when you connect to the OpenVPN, then you're connected to it, and then you can do all the stuff you want to do as if you're in front of it, which is what it is. And then from here on out, if I wanted to see other stuff connected to the FlexEdge, I'd probably go in and do some port forwarding rules at the FlexEdge, which give me access to other stuff there. But that's a video for another time. But anyway, that's pretty cool. I'm really excited about the Solve Networks application. Once we figured this out, this was really easy to implement. You can get from these guys. Very affordable, easy to work with these guys to get that. And then once we did, everything's set up and works great. So that's a nice company to use for SIM cards if you're looking to get private network stuff. Anyway, if you got any questions or you want a copy of the database, I'll be certainly glad to share it with you. At least the SIM card thing. I don't know if I'll give you this, Dave, but I'll give you this if you want to implement that in your application. Hey, thanks a lot, folks. Have a great day. We'll see you later.